It is 10 o'clock in the morning and I just came on watch and the ocean is beautiful.
Represent Solomon Island people say we people start originally from my homeland. Like my old man said, there's nothing impossible. So we have to bring this message to my brother lyrical. Straight from the crew, out to the blue. We represent the voices of my ancestors calling. And I was getting more than my culture is falling. Now we have to step up for the past 20's calling.
Stop, ain't nobody gonna stop us. People, everybody, would you listen to us for a start? No point complaining unless we partaking. We represent the cause of the ones falling. We resemble true art when we bust the line, flip the rhymes from our heart. No, there's never gonna be another. Everybody stop portraying undercover.
Previously on Delos, we arrive in Richards Bay, South Africa. As we wait for the perfect weather window to continue our journey to Cape Town, we head to check out some wild African animals. And we see exactly how bad the weather on this coast can get.
It's a little spooky, but we're doing good. Both of the charts are lining up and the radar is lining up with the charts as well. So you can hear the waves heading on either side of us. But the depth hasn't gone under 2.5 meters so far.
It was about 10 p.m. and we just left the protection of our dock at the Zululand Yacht Club in Richards Bay, South Africa. Ahead of us was a 900-mile sail that would take us around the Cape of Good Hope and into Cape Town. A nasty low had just blown through, wreaking havoc on the local marina. But as the low moved on, a high-pressure system took its place, bringing with it very strong northeasterly winds. All we had to do was navigate the harbor at night and get out onto the wild coast to find the strong wind and currents to carry us south.
How's our deck doing?
1.5 and holding.
Okay. On the chart, does the channel go starboard or straight?
It hooks off to starboard. We're gonna need to make a turn starboard here pretty soon. Yeah, we were just clearing the fairway and we'll shortly be into the main channel. Over. Okay, have a good evening. Okay, well, I'm gonna start turning to starboard.
So you're just exiting the breakwater?
Yeah, that's the last light. After we pass that light over there, we are officially out of the protection of the harbor, headed down the wild coast. Hopefully it's not too wild for us.
So it is 3 o'clock in the morning and I just finishing my watch here. We are motoring.
Well, it's about 4 a.m. now. We've been out for like 8 hours. We haven't really found any strong current yet, unfortunately. It's another 80 miles off the trip, so all good. 3 hours later, the wind and current found us.
It is 10 o'clock in the morning and I just came on watch and the ocean is beautiful. It's really cool out here. It's quite rolly. about 35 nautical miles away from East London, and the wind is still doing nicely. The barometric pressure is still stable, so should be there soon.
We're only about 10 miles out from East London, but it looks like we might have some dolphins that are coming to visit. We didn't know it at the time, but we had just broken some serious records on Delos. We covered 350 nautical miles in just over 32 hours, averaging 10.8 knots of speed over ground. Although we did have long periods of constant 12 to 15 knots and a top speed of 18.8. It's no surprise we also had our best 24-hour distance, covering 254 nautical miles. The combination of 30 to 40 knots of wind, 5 knots of current, and surfing down 3-meter waves shot us south on a super fun ride.
How's the passage?
Oh, the passage was really good. Fast. Definitely the fastest sailing we've ever had. But I've been feeling sick. I've been feeling really tired and feverish and lethargic and have a headache, and that was a little tough for me. So I'm glad we're going to be here to rest. Yeah, I've been eating.
How much did you eat?
I had orange last night. Oh, because I was thinking about it, and after I got this spite that had a strange, round center that turns black and then brown, I think I got bit by a spider or a tick or something like that.
Wait,
but it's gotten... I started getting aches under my arm, and my lymph node here was swollen. And I wonder if, the poison from the bite got stuck in there.
So we found ourselves in East London, waiting on the weather and for Brian to start feeling better. After tying Delos up to a mooring, Karen and Brian stayed on the boat, while I headed into the yacht club to have a little drink. After a few rums, I met this very generous dude.
Hello.
This morning he just watched 7 Crew and 1008 Beers, and I don't know, you tell him, man, you tell him the story.
Well, the story goes, I watched it this morning. I've just come back here to this place, and I came over the bridge and I saw the Buddha on the front of the boat, the Dela. It's really good. And I watched it this morning when you actually had 1,089 whatever beers counted. I haven't donated one beer in 9 months, so I thought I'll donate 5 packs.
He's fuck donating online, I'm just gonna bring it to them.
How fucking awesome was that? Brady and his new friend just came and dropped off a bunch of beer and said hello, and then headed back into the bar at the yacht club.
Awesome people, huh?
A lot of beer.
Really cool people.
And tonight I'm not doing anything because I'm not feeling good at all. I think it's getting better, but every now and then I get really weak, and I have a fever now, but it comes and goes. Oh, last night was a really bad night. I had fever and cold sweats and chills, and the previous few days it had gone away, and come back short time, but last night it was pretty much the whole night. So I thought I was getting better, but it doesn't really feel like it anymore. So our friend Patrick, whom we met yesterday, has a friend that's a doctor here, and he's nice enough to go take us to see him. So we're gonna go meet him and go see what's going on with me.
Sweated down the whole bed.
Oh, so disgusting. I'm so
bed
sorry.
is wet.
I would not want to sleep next to me right now. It is gross.
You've got a choice, obviously. In South Africa, we have the local witch doctors, which are commonly used for this type of thing. So that might be your first port of call.
Yeah, okay.
Really good description.
All right, so I'm always surprised about how efficient the medical care is and all the places that we go. It was a cool experience, super cheap. It was 400 Rand for the consultation and 25 Rand for the medication. 25 Rand is like less than $2 US, so crazy. Not a spider bite, that's the good news. She was pretty adamant that it's a tick bite. And so basically my instructions are to keep it uncovered so that it can breathe and won't get pussy. She said all the symptoms that I have are classic tick bite, should continue to have what's been going on for 7 to 10 days. So hopefully I'm on the last half of what's going on. And I got still pain, take 2 tablets 3 times a day for pain. And for antibiotics, I was giving doxycycline, which we have a bit on the boat, but we're not quite sure how old it is, so we refilled that. So that's it. Get some rest, and we'll check weather and see how it's going. Good news, though.
Good news.
I still think we should have gone to the witch doctor.
Wow.
I'm gonna.
Now that we knew Brian's hand wasn't going to fall off, and it wasn't anything serious, we drove to the coast to check out the conditions to continue south.
So this is the stretch of coast that will be headed down in just a couple hours.
Looks good.
What do you think, Brady?
Yeah, man. So it's cool to be able to drive and see the coast that we're going to travel down for the next 24 hours. And Port Elizabeth and St. Francis is that way, about between 130 and 170 miles if we go all the way to Port St. Francis. And the wind's only going to drop, so it looks good to go.
I was in orbit of Pluto, basking in absence of light. When you cast your moon rays across the sky that night.
Ooh, it's not nearly the pleasant conditions we had on the way to East London. The wind has come out of the west now, about 15 knots, which isn't too bad, except we are in the current, so it's tossing us around a little bit. Nothing dangerous, but it is a little bit uncomfortable.
The conditions really weren't the best, so we had to motor the whole 170 miles to Port St. Francis. The motoring part wasn't really the issue. It was that we were now entering a small, unfamiliar harbor in the middle of the night.
It's a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different entrance. We would never attempt this if there wasn't somebody meeting us to guide us in.
So we got contact with this guy Peter in Cape St. Francis. He sent us a message on Facebook and said he welcomed us to his local marina. It's a private marina here. And of course we took up the offer and we're on our way in now, but we went a lot slower than we thought, so it's like almost midnight and it's really dark and really fucking cold outside. But he's so cool and he's been calling us and he's waiting for us at the harbor entrance, and he's gonna have a little tender out there to guide us in, because you can only come in at high tide. High tide's at 2 in the morning. So because we don't know the harbor entrance and we don't know the depths and stuff, he's gonna lead us in.
But the conditions are good, no wind, no swell, so. And we have a local guy out here in a dinghy bringing us in.
Hey, nice to finally meet you guys.
Brady, nice to meet
Peter.
you.
Hey, Brian.
I'm Brian.
Good, nice to meet you, man. It's Ivy.
Ivy, Brady, nice to meet you.
Hey,
Care.
nice to meet you. You're gonna stay closer to the rocks on that side than this side.
Keep this course, I'll let you know when to go to port.
Okay.
You can start coming to port.
Yeah, a little bit more. Perfect.
What are you showing on depth, Brian?
1.
Okay. You start thrusting starboard.
I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, go ahead and thrust starboard. There you go. go.
Am I good there?
Yep. Straight in now. Yep, just on port side, back in.
All right on the end here. Perfect.
Bro, you want to introduce our pilot captains?
Yeah, so this is Peter.
Yeah.
Peter's how you pronounce it, right? And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name?
Ivy.
Ivy.
Yeah. IB with a B, yeah.
IB.
Yeah, that's it.
Peter and Ivy.
Yeah, right.
And they were nice enough to come out and meet us in the dinghy, bring us in, tie us to the dock, and even arrived in style. South African brandy. We're drinking it local style with Coke. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Especially when you guys go down towards Cape Town side. That's where they produce brandy and all the wines and stuff.
Next up on Delos, while once again waiting on the weather, we get to know Peter and his mates and the beautiful area that surrounds St. Francis Bay. We get some work done on Delos and eventually set sail to round the Cape of Good Hope.
And I remember when you were so far away from me.
Okay, sweet.
First thing in the morning. That's a wrap.
It was on my mind that it told me the love. I didn't know that today I'll be standing here, heading back to say I love.
Like it? I like it a lot. Oh, nice piece of shit, man. Wow.
Are there any zebras that are domesticated that can be ridden?